I want to share using vibration, consciousness, and energy level to evaluate where our country, the United States of America, is heading towards. There are two main things, two different areas that I want to share. What I'm sharing is based on Dr. David Hawkins, his book about the map of consciousness, which divides energy level by two primary buckets. Life supportive energy that is not forceful. It attracts real power. First is life depriving energy, such as fear, greed, jealousy, that use force. It drains energy. It doesn't attract and inspire, but instead it manipulates, it controls. So the first example I want to share is knowing our country. I think everyone can agree is that we have been overextending. I mean, economically, financially, we have been overspending in so many years. And I know that one of the biggest expense is in our military budget. Knowing that we have so many military bases across the world, I think over 700 of them, we need to consider, and perhaps we can think about it, the difference between protection and projection. Perhaps our original intention is to protect, is to harness the life supportive energy where we want to inspire others the best that we can be, using the level of love, of acceptance who other people are, other countries operate, and to offer our help to protect. Versus, are we moving away from that? Are we trying to overextend too much that deprives our own energy? Are we trying to project our influences, control, and power outward and overextending ourselves? Are we trying to manipulate and control based on what type of energy? Is it by fear, greed, and jealousy? Or are we trying to really protect? This is the question that we really have to ask ourselves. And maybe it's a food for thought for you. And is it necessary that we have so many military bases? Those are all the questions that we really need to ask ourselves. Because, for example, if we're willing to really look inward and evaluate what's going on, is there room for some adjustment? When we are able to simply be the best version of ourselves as a country, others will follow naturally because we inspire others. We cultivate a sense of aspirations in other people because we are serving our best, and people will naturally follow. Life supportive energies requires us to look inward. There's a vibration of courage, vibration of acceptance, a high level of reasons, cultivating neutrality, and willingness to learn from others. So that's the main questions we want to ask ourselves. Lastly, the second example or the second main ingredient is, I think, no matter what type of policies that we want to implement and execute, there's no way we can move forward without taking care of our internal affairs. We really need to look inward of how we're operating. Are we operating in a higher form of vibrations that we can work together internally? Internally, not just about the government system, which we all know we are facing a lot of difficulty and discontentment, primarily from two sides, two parties. But we also have to look inward in other energy levels within a smaller scale, such as communities, societies, across different states, different opinions. Because I think the beauty of our system, let's say democracy is a big part what we advocate, is that in reality, in order to make it to work, to harness the beauty the purpose of democracy is that while we have different opinions, different perceptions on things, the system only works when we summon the higher level of energy and vibrations and consciousness level. Is that through disagreement, through different opinions, different perceptions, it really requires us to work through things and arrive on a middle ground, consensus. You may get some here, you may get some there, but at the end, because of the way that democracy works, it forces us to, or it encourages us to really have to find a middle ground, to find what works for most. And then usually it works out itself. But again, it really, really requires us to rise to the occasions. No matter how difficult it is, we stay respectful, we make progressive communications, and then we are able to implement. So without this main ingredient in terms of a higher form of energy leading to collaborations and cooperations, reasonings, it's very, very hard to get things done. So I think these two things offer some insight, the two examples that I shared today. Like I said, I don't have an answer, but I think it is worthwhile to share so that we can all explore it together. Thank you so much.